Compass wondered if there was more of that fluffy stuff inside. Maybe it was hidden in the bag. Most people don't like pigeon in their popcorn. A very big bird was next to Compass. Could that be an osprey? Nope, it was just a raven. Something had done something wrong. The popcorn bag had a hole in it. George had to find the off switch. But it's hard to find a switch in a wagon full of popcorn. George could put the extra popcorn in the trash bag. What a mess. This would take all day to clean. Maybe weeks. If only George had 20 compasses to eat popcorn. Or even 100. But there was popcorn in the lake, too, and pigeons didn't swim. But ducks did. It looked like George was going to need bigger birds. George could never blow hard enough for birds that high up to hear. Or could he? That wasn't a goose call. It was an osprey call.
Oh! That's the loudest goose I've ever heard!
Oh, that's no goose. That's my monkey. George, is everything okay?
An osprey on my wagon! It's magnificent!
That's how George made Mr. Popper's the most popular popcorn place in the park. With birdwatchers, that is. And Bill's decorations were already down. But but not George's.
She's still got some life in her. Sort of. Oh, hey, I almost forgot the erector set. Ready to tackle the 1889 Paris exhibition? Sounds like a big project. What do you say we set it up in the attic where there's more room? Hang in there, George. I'm just getting it started for you. Then she's all yours.
It had been too cold to climb with Jumpy Squirrel, or run with Dotty Deer, or waddle with Dumpling Duck. George missed his animal friends. Since it was too cold for George to play outside, maybe his friends could come inside for a sleepover.
Oh, let's see here. Are these sleeping bags? Okay, so you want to have a sleepover with your friends? Sure, why not? Oh, and when you talk to Allie and Bill and whoever that other person is, see if one of them is good with erector sets.
If you're having a sleepover, you'll need snacks, fun party games, and cozy sleeping bags. Now all George needed were guests. Jumpy didn't like being startled. Whatever the monkey wanted, it had better be good. Who was Jumpy to say no to free nuts? Dotty wondered where Jumpy had gone. If it was good enough for the squirrel and the deer, Dumpling wanted in too. Maybe they'd like to play a game. Dumpling knew what to do with eggs. Fortunately, George had extra game pieces. Jumpy thought they were nuts. And Dotty thought the dice were sugar cubes. Maybe they should just go to bed. Was this their first sleepover? George would have to show them how sleeping bags worked. George and the man with the yellow hat had been invited by Mr. Quint to go ice fishing. George thought he should practice. The trouble was, the ice weren't biting.
Hey, George. What happened to all our... George, you do realize that ice fishing doesn't mean fishing for ice. Mr. Quint will show you. Better go pack a coat, hat, and mittens. It's gonna be cold up north. Mr. Quint, we're here.
Well, hello, you two. Come on in.
Thanks for the invitation. I have always wanted to try ice fishing.
Well, to get where the fish are, you have to drill a hole, George.
George doesn't believe that fish can live in the ice.
See down there? The fish are in the water. Under the ice. No, George. It takes an expert fisherman, like me, to catch them. They don't just jump up and say hello. Oh, my goodness! Maybe they do jump up and say hello.
It was George's old friends, Professors Einstein and Pizza.
Oh, my. You look a lot like our pal George. Why, it is George.
What brings you up here, fellas?
We're here on an important mission.
But we're having trouble with our sub. Someone spilled his juice box on the control panel.
Someone drives like this. Whee! Whee!
At any rate, it appears that we'll have to scrap the mission.
Wait a minute, Einstein. George is here. The mini-sub! George, how would you like to do some whale counting for us?
That sounds like yes to me.
The mission is saved!
Okay, George, in you go. You remember how to use all the controls? Ah!
I got one! I got a big one!
Thanks, Mr. Quint.
George, this time of year, several species of whales are swimming to their winter homes.
We're trying to track them as they migrate. Your mission is to count the whales you see going by. Now, see the screen on your dashboard? That shows the different kinds of whales you might encounter. Beluga whales are white, bowhead whales are dark, and narwhals have long tusks.
Now, George, whales aren't fish. They come up to the surface of the water to breathe air.
Some of them also swim really deep, so you'll have to look up and down. When you see one of these whales, just touch the picture on the screen that matches it, and the computer will count it.
Okay, George. Here we go!
It was autumn in the country. Leaves were falling, and so were acorns. Jumpy had stashed away plenty for winter. But there was always room for more. Jumpy's acorn stash was gone. He had just hidden those nuts. Whoever had taken them couldn't have gone far. He just had to find someone eating. The monkey!
George, come back and finish lunch.
The monkey was eating Jumpy's nuts for lunch? Jumpy had to get his acorns back. He would watch that monkey like a hawk.
And his friend got into the car and went home. Good night, George. Oh, no. You can play with Jumpy tomorrow.
What was Jumpy so grumpy about? He liked nuts. Maybe if George gave him a nut, he'd feel better. Jumpy couldn't believe it. The monkey was stealing acorns right under his nose. Jumpy had usually saved more nuts than that by fall. Someone might have taken them. And Jumpy seemed to think that someone was George. If someone had taken those nuts, it was up to George to find out who. Could those be Jumpy's nuts?
Hiya, George. Want a piece of pie? Fresh out of the oven.
But how could Mrs. Rankins have gotten up Jumpy's tree? Not possible. There had been a storm last night. Maybe the wind blew so hard, the nuts rolled out of the tree. And Mrs. Rankins found them. George had to tell Jumpy. He would see it was all a big mistake. Jumpy could see there was a mistake, all right. His nuts were acorns. And those nuts were pecans. Jumpy was right. Mrs. Rankin's nuts were different. George loved visiting the Maldives. Mostly because of Uncle Hassan.
And now breathe calmly in and out.
Whose morning ritual included yoga. He made them traditional Maldivian food.
Not too spicy, I hope.
Just like your mom used to make.
And just when George thought it couldn't get any better, it did.
Snorkeling? Oh, that's a great idea.
And of course you can use my boat. You'll love it. The coral reef is the home of so many different kinds of fish. There are glassfish, parrotfish, butterfly fish, and surgeonfish.
Oh, George, you ready to go snorkeling?
Take a trip, see somewhere new. Learn about what others like to do. There's different words and different ways. At every turn, you'll be amazed. So head on out. There's so much to see. A million things to spark your curiosity. There's something there for every boy and girl. Let's learn about the wonders of the world. So head on out. There's so much to see. A million things to spark your curiosity. Yeah, there's something there for every boy and girl. Let's learn about the wonders of the world.
So, the simplest route is to go around this bit of land.
George wanted to bring his ball, but was there an extra seat?
Yes, George? Sure, you can put the ball in there. That seems easy enough. Ready to get going, George? All right, off we go.
Bye! Happy snorkeling! See you later! Huh. That person must be expecting a big emergency.
Here, George. I'll steer while you navigate. We want to keep going east. Keep the E pointed toward the front of the boat and make sure the red arrow is pointed toward the end. If the red arrow moves away from the end, let me know.
Has anyone seen my mug?
This was becoming very mysterious.
Not again. Why does everything keep disappearing?
Maybe you simply left it in the other room. Let's look.
Come on, George. Let's see the rest of the lab.
Someone had taken the kitten mug, the shell, and the shoe. He didn't know who did it, but he had a pretty good idea what they looked like.
Look at that shell.
It was a shell, all right. But it wasn't George's.
That's a loggerhead sea turtle.
She's injured, so we're taking care of her until she heals.
George wondered, could the sea turtle be the one taking things?
Those flippers make them very fast in the water, but on land, they're quite slow.
If the turtle was slow on land, it probably didn't steal George's shell. Still, it was worth a look.
Maybe it's time we clean the turtle enclosure.
And if you're up for it, we could use 2 extra hands.
Ha! He's right. 4 extra hands.
Oh, I'll help, even though I only have 2 hands.
Every hand helps. We'll need some sponges and a bucket.
Luckily, George had brought his own bucket. Where was it? George couldn't believe it. Someone had stolen the octopus, too. His bucket. What was it doing over there?
What is it, George? Wow.
You did it! You solved the mystery, George.
So this is where everything went.
But how did the octopus get those things into the water?
Octopuses live in the water, but they can venture onto land for short periods of time.
Yeah, why did Octavia take all these things?
Well, in nature, octopuses collect things like shells and coconut husks to use for protection near their dens.
Like my shoe.
And my coffee mug.
And your shell, exactly. The collection is called an octopus's garden. Good.
Guess we'll need to secure this lid so she doesn't keep getting out.
George liked his shell, but he knew someone who liked it even more.
Well, it looks like that's how an octopus says thank you, George.
That was very generous of you, George.
You can come back and visit Octavia and your shell anytime.
George thought that any seashell that got to be part of an octopus's garden was one lucky shell.
Definitely not. Unlikely. Oh, how nice. He's a pigeon, right? Oh, wow. I met a pigeon and a monkey on the same day. Pinch me. Hi there, pretty bird. Look, he's on my head. Say, would you like to see some pictures of some deep sky objects, pretty bird?
Compass wasn't interested in seeing stars. The food was gone, and it was time for him to go home. But Compass being Compass, he went the wrong direction.
Oh, dear. He wants to get out. Use the window, Birdie. That way. Go to the monkey. Go to the monkey. Oh, dear, it's not working. Wait, I know. I'll open the telescope door for him. The door is right there. It's behind you. Look. Oh, the tension is too much. Good idea, monkey. Just don't let him go inside the telescope. He might hurt himself. Or it. Oh, I can't look. You better take him to the window, George. He can't find it by himself. That's it! You've almost got him! Uh-oh! Oh,
no! Here, try this.
Wonderful tuna salad.
Try and guess the secret ingredient.
No idea.
A touch of mustard.
Really?
George worried Compass might try to exit through the telescope.
George?
Systems restored.
What happened?
Nothing. We were just trying to help the pigeon.
A pigeon? Is everything all right, Mr. Griggs?
I believe so. Oh dear, the telescope is no longer pointing at Mars. I'm going to have to move it. Wait a minute. Look at this. It's an exploding star. A supernova. Quick, failsafe, photograph it.
I'm way ahead of you.
Oh, George, this is much better than Comet 331P. Thank you, George.
Other astronomers had photographed the comet, but only Mr. Griggs saw the supernova.
I couldn't have done it without my curious friend, George.
George was happy that Mr. Griggs got the award, but he was even happier to learn a little more about the stars.
sorry we didn't find your Petey. Let's ask the guys outside. They go everywhere.
Where had all the confetti gone?
Hey, guys. My friend here lost a parrot Petey. Anybody found one?
Not yet, but it's a big park. We've got a lot of ground to cover. Want to come along?
Good catch.
How did everything from that big bag fit into that little barrel?
Nice, huh? The trash cans are fake. They cover these underground tubes. They're like big vacuum cleaners. The trash gets sucked down to a central collection area. That way, trash collectors don't disturb our guests during the day.
Ready to roll?
I hope you find your Petey.
But Petey wasn't to be found. At least not on the streets. It was time for George to search the rides. First up, the roller coaster. George hadn't remembered the coaster being that noisy before.
Well, hi, little fella. What are you doing here? You lost your parrot Petey? That's tough. So's oiling the far wheels on this coaster. Hey! Be careful! Wish I could do that. Tell you what, you oil that side, I'll oil this side, then we can search the cars for your Petey together. Found nothing at this end. How about you? What's this? A map of all the places you went today? All those rides need maintenance too. What do you say we help each other out? I forgot the most important part. To take a test ride. Think you're up for it?
There were nuts to be tightened. Light bulbs to be changed. And cables to be replaced. But there was only one more ride to go, and George still hadn't found Petey.
Swamp boats it is.
George had worked on all the rides and not found Petey.
Whenever I lose something, it's usually in the last place I look. Ready, George? And Petey?
Hey there! Has anyone seen my monkey?
Now all he had to do was count the sheep. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But where was number 6? There were 7, 8, and 9. Sheep 6 had to be there too. George accidentally left the gate open. Sheep 6 escaped. Maybe sheep 6 was in the barn. Nope, not in the barn either.
Well, looky here. I guess Mrs. Rankins must have numbered y'all to keep you organized. Huh? But we only have 8 sheep. Why are you wearing a 9? Oh, I see. The 9 is just a 6 turned upside down. Well, I can fix that. Ah, there. That's more like it.
Sheep 6 came back. But how did he get in? Sheep number 6 was back, but now number 9 was gone.
Hi, George. What are you doing? And why are the sheep wearing our calendar? Oh, I get it. You're counting sheep. George, when I said if you can't sleep, count sheep, did you think I meant real sheep? I see. Well, Grandma just meant to count sheep in your imagination, not go to an actual sheep pen.
George thought Grandma's way sounded a lot easier.
Well, I'm going to finish my bike ride. I'll see you after your nap.
But George couldn't take a nap yet. He still had to find sheep number 9. George went to get the number 6 when it turned into a 9. Then it turned into a 6 again. How was the number doing that? A 6 was an upside-down 9, and a 9 was just an upside-down 6. Sheep number 6 and sheep number 9 were the same animal. The missing sheep had been there all along. George's way of counting sheep was harder than Grandma's, but it sure tired him out. That night, everyone came to George's house to celebrate the new year.
Ready for the countdown? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Happy New Year, everyone!
How it over the log. But there's no ramp in the woods.
We can bring one.
Now how are we going to deal with that thorn bush?
Hard-packed trail makes it easy.
Just you wait. It gets a lot harder, believe me. These are the thorn bushes I told you about. Okay, if you really think it'll work. Hey, what do you know? It worked! Huh. The rain must have created a creek.
Good idea, George.
Okay, well, here goes nothing. Crossing. Ha! I made it! All right!
Oh, no.
Oh, mud. Too sticky for our wheels.
Guess you were right after all, Bill. It sure was nice up till now, though.
Wait, you can't turn back. We're almost there.
But we don't have a way to get across. Woo! Okay. This is working. So let's figure out how to get more boards. Good thinking.
Nice going, George!
Great
We
job!
did it! I told you we could do it! Come on! You ready?
You bet.
The super secret middle of the woods pond. Wow, I must be the only kid who's ever gotten his cast signed by a dog, a city kid, and a frog.
Hey, you know what the best part of the super secret middle of the woods pond is? Getting to share it with friends.
Jumpy's nest was a hole filled with sticks, leaves, and feathers. High up in a tree.
C'est magnifique. My first accordion!
Ducks swam in water, even in winter. And they slept in nests of straw. Deer slept hidden under many trees on a soft bed. Now George knew what he needed to make his sleepover a success. George had made a perfect space for each friend. Now they just needed to come back inside. Success. George's friends loved it. Jumpy nested in his clock. Dumpling perched in her nest. And Dottie slept on her soft, foresty bed. But George was still missing one thing. Everyone slept well. The next morning, George made sure everyone had the perfect breakfast.
What on earth?
George!